I know you all could hear me whistling. I couldn't help it. What do you want from me? With the catchy jingle.
It is. It is. Hello, everybody. It is Thursday. It is January 22nd. Time is flying by,
Mm,
and this is Moment of Presence. So, welcome if you have joined us live. And if you're watching this as a recorded episode, cool. Definitely say something in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Ask any questions. Definitely engage with us, but and subscribe, notify, get notified, all those things that you do, and
yeah.
share this out.
Who are
Because
you, Michelle?
oh yeah, who are we? Well, I'm Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching. I am a coach that helps people become more self-aware of their emotions, how they're feeling, those little voices that we hear that whisper in our ear, and how to manage that so you can be the best version of yourself moving forward.
I
How
love
are
it.
you, Krista?
I'm Krista. Work in operations, as you'll see my little title there. Ops wizard, CRM strategist, coach, a little bit of everything. I work with a lot of people to get their businesses where they need to be across many different fields. So yeah, here
Yeah.
we are talking about mindfulness and take a moment of presence.
Yes.
I'm
So
actually really stoked for today's topic.
yeah, me too. I do think that we should take a moment to breathe.
You know what's so funny? We're so on the same page. Does it say, should we start with moment of presence at the beginning today instead of the end? I agree with you. Let's do it.
All right. So when you breathe in, I want you to think about a situation that is challenging you at the moment or today. So take a deep breath in and let the feelings, the emotion, just let them come up. I mean, if you're annoyed, if you're bothered, if you're worried, if you're sad, if you're angry, let those feelings and emotions come in, and then exhale. And you're going to blow them out. So deep breath in again. Let it all come up. And then exhale. And for this one, I want you to think about a time that you were in your most favorite place and you were relaxed and calm. For me, it's on a boat and you're just slightly rocking back and forth and the sun is shining.
Like an Everglades. I know yours is on the ocean.
I was going to say, and porpoises are, yes, porpoises are actually swimming around. So big deep breath in wherever you may be. Just bring in that peaceful place for you and just really feel it, sense it, the sounds, the smells. And then let that breath and that vision just sink deep into your belly as you exhale. And you should feel more calm and relaxed. If you had a little bit of an issue with that, if you weren't able to really get there, Krista and I have been doing this for a long time. Like, we know our favorite place, whether you look at a picture, a video, whether you're on vacation now. Take a moment and look around you, gather in the sight, right? The smells, the sounds. If you're at your favorite restaurant, the tastes, what are you drinking? What are you eating? Memorize everything from a moment. And we all have those moments where we're like, oh, I just don't want this to end. This is amazing. Take the second to gather as much information, intel as you can into your memory bank. And if you use any type of AI, in your own mind, say, like, save this to long term memory. So that
That
way,
actually does work.
it does work so that you save it, like you've made a little bookmark on that memory and that's your space. Sometimes I'll go to my first dance at my wedding. I can do that like that so easy. I can put myself on the dance floor, our friends surrounding us, the music blaring, and then it's shutting off, and our friends singing the song to us as we danced. and it was a magical, amazing moment. And it always makes me, it always puts a smile on my face. It always calms me. So it depends on what you need, but you can have different memories for different feelings that you want to kind of drum up. So just a little tip.
Absolutely, I love that. Mine is the Everglades, about 7:30 a.m. Real quiet, a little cold out.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on the boat, but everything's very still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, there's nothing better.
And
Nothing better.
seeing a little alligator poke its little head up.
Doesn't even need to. Great bonus. Love that. Don't even need that. All right.
Yes.
Today's topic.
Let's
When
dive in.
difficulty is the sign that you've been looking for or even asking for. What does that mean?
Well, it doesn't mean that at the first sign of difficulty, you walk away. That's not what it
No.
means. However, it does mean that you should be aware that when something is really, really hard, we should get curious. We should be more self aware in how we're feeling so that we can respond in the right way that's best for us. So, what does
And
that mean?
and,
Yes.
and sometimes that does mean walking away.
Mm-hmm.
But it means getting into the right place to be able to accurately judge that rather than not.
Right.
For example,
Yes.
class example I think of all the time is when I was back in college. I don't know if you remember this. I wanted to do communications with a marine biology minor.
I do remember that.
Wild concept to combine those two, but that's what I wanted to do. I loved marine life, wanted to do that. Doing that would mean that even though I finished high school early, and I should have graduated early, would have meant that I had to stay in college a couple of years longer. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let me move forward with it anyway. Did one class, two classes. Okay, cool. Now it's time to sign up for the rest. All of the other classes that I wanted to take were not available. They
Mm-hmm.
only had them every other year. So, in order for me to do the classes I actually wanted that made
Right.
the minor worth it, I would have had to stay an extra year and take like just whatever classes in the meantime, wasting more time and money. At that point, I said, okay, what do I really want out of this?
Right.
Is this really the path I need to take? And I made an adjustment. And I stuck with my wonderful major that I'm thrilled that I picked based on intuition, by the way. But I changed course because I realized, you know what? I think there's a reason that this is becoming difficult. I think there's a reason that this is more challenging.
Right.
And I'm really glad that I changed course.
And what it takes a lot of times to be able to feel into that, right? Because there is an energy behind that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a type of surrender,
Yeah.
letting go. Like, all right, well, I'll go this way. Like if this is the easy, and we're not talking like easy because you want the easy way out or you're being lazy or you don't want to work too hard. That's not what we're talking about.
Correct.
It's this feeling that comes over you and you can sense it. And any of you, and if you want to share in the comments, please do, but all of us have had that feeling where we're in the midst of doing something and it just feels heavy. Or maybe you're supposed to be going somewhere and you're just like coming up with any excuse to prolong your leaving to go.
Mm-hmm.
That may be your sign that you really don't want to go. It doesn't mean not to go, but it does mean to ask yourself some questions. What is this? Why am I resisting? Is it because of who might be there? Is it because of the location? Is it because I'm assuming it's going to be hard or a long drive or a bad drive?
Mm-hmm.
When we talk to ourselves, ask ourselves those questions and feel into the answer, meaning it's either going to feel lighter, meaning it's true or it's a positive,
Hmm.
or it's heavier and it's more of a negative. And sometimes a no can feel lighter because it's the right path, and sometimes it, you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
it's all about feeling, and we all know that feeling in our gut where we're just like, ugh, like, ugh,
Sure.
ugh.
Sure.
And when you start tapping into that intuition, that's when you can start traveling on the path that's meant for you.
Right.
Notice I didn't say path you think is best for you, because what you think is best for you may not actually be what's right for you.
Right. Absolutely. And I think so. You're talking about this from a very high level in the sense of like feeling and emotion. There's also
Mhm.
an entirely practical side of this too. Like you're talking about life path, and if something is just not meant for you, I
Right.
love that because that's so exactly right and on point. But there's also bringing it down to a very granular earth-based human level. If you consistently, if you read in a book somewhere or saw some TikTok or YouTube video, whatever, of this is the way that you should put your kid in a temper tantrum corner and this is going to stop them from whatever,
Right.
and it's not working and it's actually making things worse and more challenging and there's more behavioral upset. I wonder why that's happening. Maybe I should get curious, to steal your
Mhm.
line. What am I not doing in this scenario?
Mhm.
Okay, well, I'm putting my kid in the corner with no engagement. I'm not asking them what's wrong. I'm just telling them that they did something wrong.
Right.
Maybe I should try something different here. It doesn't always have to be this grand life path journey. That's still important. It's
Yeah.
part of it. But sometimes, even in the very practical, day to day stuff that we're doing, this can be incredibly relevant. And it's not, I think, what do we put in the description? It doesn't have to be, up, I quit. It's what would be the path of least resistance here? What would
Exactly.
be the easier route in the sense of it flows better? It's not when something,
Mhm.
that's the thing that I think is interesting is when something is flowing and you can feel that you're on the right path, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily easy. A lot of times there's still hard work and you gotta,
Right.
pedal to the metal. Yeah, pedal
Yeah.
to the metal. Like, see, I get that flipped. And still, do the heavy lifting, but it feels
Right.
easier. It's the answers come to you along the way, where the other route, you're like, I don't even know what to do next. I don't know what to do in this scenario. That one little pivot, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden you're in the jet stream and you're just cruising right along.
Exactly. Kind of like what was the turtle's name in
Crush,
yeah, Crush.
crush and
Kind of like
squirt,
with Crush.
a
Like,
100%.
Nemo's dad could have stayed on the outside and he could have really worked hard. He knew he
Yep.
was going in the right direction because he could follow the stream, but he had that choice. Am I going to do it on my own and do it my way because my way is the only way?
Hmm.
Or am I just going to get into the stream and allow the stream to take me exactly where I should go? You're
This is
going to
a
both
great
get there,
metaphor
right? You're
because
both
he
going to
was
get there.
scared. He was terrified and he did it anyway. Now, granted, did he get nudged into it? Maybe. Sometimes the universe does that. Sometimes God does that. He
Mhm.
nudges you along the way.
Hey man, hey dude,
Oh my
come
gosh.
on into the flow.
Yeah. We gotta watch that soon. That's such a good movie.
But
But yeah.
yeah, it,
And
it's it's
good.
so important to feel into it, and also to, like, in that situation, ask, am I doing it out of am I not doing it out of fear, even though I see they're really calm and cool and just kind of letting it go?
Hmm.
Am I doing it out, if I'm not doing it out of fear, what am I afraid of? Am I
Right.
afraid it's going to take me the wrong way? Am I afraid it's not going to go fast enough? Because what I'm doing on my own is not working.
Right.
So my choice is to continue this way. And then the next question would be, why do I think doing it my way is the only way? And is it from an ego, or is it, because I don't want to be proven wrong,
Hmm.
or, and I'm stubborn like a donkey, uh, or should I just try something new?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they seem to be having fun as they go in the flow. So, you know, could I be mistaken.
Mhm.
And so having that inner dialogue is that self-awareness that we're always talking about on Moment of Presence. Because when you can be self-aware, then you can respond appropriately, not lash out, not say things that you shouldn't say or that may cause ripples and issues down the road.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like that, don't send an email until the next day. Like, type it out, get all your thoughts out, but don't send it until the next day, and make sure that you read it the next day like a couple times and make sure that it's actually the vibe and how you want to present the situation. Then you can send it.
Absolutely. It's so funny. I just said that to someone literally yesterday. I
Hmm.
might suggest waiting until the emotional resonance comes down a little bit before we send
Exactly.
that. Um, but the other part that goes along with this as well is, and I know we've talked about this before, is like, let's say I feel like career is the obvious one. You're in a career, a job, and you hate it. You hate it. You hate it. You hate showing up. You hate your boss. Every day is you wake up, go to work, come home, you're miserable. At some point, if you do not handle your shit, so to speak,
Hmm.
God in the universe is going to do it for you.
Yeah, your
And
shit will be done.
that could come in the form of getting fired. It could come in the form of getting in a car accident, God forbid. It could be in the form of other health issues, whether it's exhaustion, fatigue,
Hmm.
cancer, stroke, God forbid, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Or if you kind of get a handle on yourself and your emotions, it could look like a promotion. It could look like a beautiful new job opportunity at a different company. It
Hmm.
could be family expansion, which means maybe you shift into stay at home mom or grandma. It
Right.
could look like, or, dad or grandpa. It could look like your spouse getting a promotion. That means you
Hmm.
get to find something else and you have a little bit more breathing room to do that.
Right.
It's all about the mental space that you're in. And I've
Hmm.
talked about this before for myself. I'm just giving all sorts of examples today, but I had a job that required me, I was on the road for like an hour to get there, an hour to get home. It was very emotionally exhausting for me. And I knew that I needed to leave, but I didn't want to make that leap because I was young and scared of what
Hmm.
the next move was. And I got hit by a semi truck
Hmm.
once, and then 2 weeks on the way to work. And then on the way home, almost got hit a second time. The first time, even the cop said, I don't know how your car didn't roll into the giant lake in the middle of the turn. Like, that is a blessing. Yeah, exactly. And that was the sign that I needed of, I
Right.
cannot do this anymore. I have to leave because if not, I genuinely am afraid I'm going to get killed on the road.
Hmm.
It's too far of a drive. It's too early, too late. Like, it's not getting me to where I want to be in life. And that is what ultimately led me to be like, okay, this is my sign. This is
Right.
this is what I needed. And I was scared as hell to tell my bosses that I was leaving, and it didn't go exactly the way I would have loved for it to have gone. But I took the first step. That
Right.
first step has now led me to where I am now, and I would not change it for the world. But I needed that boot to the ass out of the nest in the tree like mama bird to get me to make a move.
Right. And excuse me. And here's the other part of this is we don't know what is for us and what isn't. And
Exactly.
so if something seems bad, terrible, hard, not what we wanted,
Hmm.
we don't know if it's actually going to be good in the long run. And
Absolutely.
so while it may be bad right now, is it bringing you closer to what you want? Is it bringing you farther away?
Hmm.
Could there be a lesson in the situation? And so that's another question that I always suggest to my clients to ask is, what is the lesson in this? What am I supposed to learn from this situation? What could be the lesson for me? Is it forgiveness? Is it patience? Is it to bite your tongue? Um,
Learning something that you need for the next great thing that's coming along.
Exactly, exactly. And so many times when you take that step back and and sometimes you can't see it until you're already like years ahead, and then you look back and go, oh, if
Mhm.
that hadn't happened, I wouldn't know XYZ, and then if I didn't know XYZ, I wouldn't be here.
Sure.
And so, you look at it that way, and then it makes more sense. But in the moment, sometimes it's really hard for us to see. So what do you have to have in order to get through those moments? Anybody? Put it in the chat. What do you have to have in your heart to get through those moments?
I have so many thoughts on what the answer could be.
Throw it out there.
Love, light, gumption, perseverance, strength, fortitude,
Yes, faith,
curiosity.
faith and trust.
Oh, well, that's a big one. Yeah,
Faith and trust that everything is always working out for you.
sure.
And it may not feel like it at that moment. And you may want to, put your finger up at me, whatever. But it may not feel like it in that moment, but what's on the other side of the situation?
Absolutely. And sometimes it's just about meeting a person that is going to be important to your life.
Right.
I worked on a team for a couple of months. It didn't work out. I'm not going to go into that. But someone I met in that job that I actually hired, I now brought onto another team that I'm working on,
Mm-hmm.
and we're good friends.
Yeah.
So that experience, yes, it taught me some other stuff, but maybe, just maybe, it was about meeting two wonderful human beings that I now consider friends of mine.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just about meeting a person, learning a skill, learning how to navigate a weird, dynamic with people.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, I mean, there's so many little things that we can get from every experience in our life that we take into the next.
Right.
But exactly like you said, who are we to say what is meant for us or not? And those little difficult moments, those little challenges, those little
Mm-hmm.
getting rear-ended in traffic, or like you mentioned, kind of hesitant to leave the house. Those are the things that the universe, God, source provides to us to be able to take a second to stop, assess where we're at. Do I need to pivot, or am I on the right course? Do I need to make an adjustment? That's the opportunity to do that. Shifting course does not have to be this big, huge moment like we see in movies where it's like, I'm changing my life today. Sometimes it's, you know what, I'm going to wait 5 minutes to leave work.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, I am going to take this job opportunity. I don't know how far I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long I'll be there, but something's telling me to take this opportunity. Or the other side, you know what, it's time to leave. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what my next job is going to come from, what it's going to look like, but I know I have to leave. This isn't healthy for me.
Yeah.
It could be, hey, you know what? This is a new coffee shop. This looks pretty cool. I'm going to stop in and grab something. You meet the love of your life.
Yeah.
You never know, but it's these redirections and misdirections, but we sometimes interpret them, that literally can change the course of our lives.
Yeah.
It makes me think all the time. I'm going to do a little visual on my little sticky note here. Sometimes we think that change has to be this really steep line. But sometimes a much more gradual, and that's such a bad description, but sometimes a very gradual line gets us farther in the long run. Look how much longer that bottom line is than the top line.
And
Sometimes, who are we to say?
and sometimes it can look like that.
It sure can. And look at how much more room for fun there is on that line. Oh, we're just drawing all sorts of things today. Look at
It,
look
it,
look at
it could be a total circle, right? And you're just going round and round, and then there's an exit ramp.
Look at
Yeah.
all that extra life that's in there. Look how boring that line is, but look at all that extra life that you've got there. If we stretch that line out, it's going to be twice or 3 times as long as that top one.
But this is also a good point. So going back to our Nemo comparison,
Yes.
if Nemo had not jumped into the flow, he wouldn't have met Crush. He wouldn't
Yeah.
have learned.
He wouldn't have met his best friend Dory, who they are best friends for the rest of their lives.
Great point. And he wouldn't have learned how to let it go a bit. So when Nemo did come back, he wouldn't have had that lesson to go, no, he has to go to school. He has to do this. I have to get away from my fears
Yep.
and let them do them.
Exactly
him
right.
do him. And so sometimes we have to get out of our own ways. And
Absolutely.
sometimes this can go for, uh, speaking up or taking action. I'll never forget that day at that one of the last meetings, big meetings that I was at in corporate world, where there was this one moment in time where I saw the big, 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 big boss sitting by themselves, and it was like my body was overtaken. Like it's kind of like, when you can like see yourself,
Yeah.
you're outside of yourself and you see yourself rising up and walking, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, what, you're crazy. And being able to ask yourself in that moment, and it's exactly what I did, because I will always remember, if I don't do this, I will never forgive myself for
Yeah.
letting this moment
Right.
pass. And I knew what the outcome was potentially going to be, which was, career suicide in the corporate world. But I remember thinking that in my head and going, I have no choice. I will, like, hate myself if I don't take advantage of this
Mm-hmm.
moment. So I had to do it. And it wasn't just for me, it was for everyone else I was standing up for.
Absolutely.
So I got caught up, and I had to surrender. I couldn't even fight it. Like, my body just started walking without me.
Yeah.
Um, but yet I had the wherewithal to at least ask myself questions on the way over to the table. It was a profound moment. It really was. And I think that's where I really was able to really get in touch and have that communication and that dialogue, and realize how much control and uncontrol, no control, that we have.
Yeah.
Like, we are in control, but it's actually our higher version of ourselves that's really in control, if
Absolutely.
we're paying attention. Because I could have like veered off once I realized, and like
Sure.
walked to the bathroom. But it's those moments, and it's following that intuition. But if you don't practice it with the little things, when a big moment comes along, you're going to get flustered. You're not going to understand. And that's when you're going to question yourself. So practice with the little things.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want for dinner? What do you want for lunch? Feel into it. What feels good, not good. And then go with what feels good. And start listening and tuning into that more, and see how things change. Try it for a week. Try it for a week.
You know what I love doing? It's so, I'm gonna say it's silly, but it's not silly. Is I years ago read a post where it was like, what are the little whimsical things that you do? And someone said, I ask my body what it wants to wear today, and that's what I wear. And so ever since then, most days I'll look in my closet and be like, what do you want to wear today? And I will always get pulled to what I want to wear. Literally last night, my head was saying, I want to wear this sweatshirt, but my physical body was going, no, we want to wear that one. And it was so cozy and comfortable, and it was exactly what my body needed. But something like that is such a
Mm-hmm.
simple, easy, no pressure, no risk way to start tuning in with something as simple as, your body or your energy, your what does your body want on it
Mm-hmm.
today? And it's just a fun little exercise.
Right. And the reason why this is so important is, imagine, and we've all done this, where we put something on, right? We're going to, I don't know, an occasion, a wedding, a birthday party, whatever. You put it on and you're like, "Ugh, I can't stand the way this looks," or I'm just not happy
Annuals.
with it, or what. And so now you feel like, you can feel
Hmm.
heavy and just like negative, and it's like, oh, this is tight, it's uncomfortable. Now you're bitching and moaning as you're walking out the door, and guess what energy you're now bringing with you to
Yep.
whatever occasion you're going to. And
Yep.
so anyone and everyone you come in contact with is going to feel your energy before they even talk to you.
Hmm.
They may not even walk up to you, all because you put on a shirt and didn't listen to your intuition to say, I really am not into wearing this today.
Mhm.
Listen to yourself and go put on a different shirt.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. And what's funny is a lot of times when I listen to like, oh, my body wants to wear this today, I get the most compliments on those outfits.
Yeah,
It's
because
hilarious.
it's highlighting like how you feel. It's like putting on, this big banner or sign, like, you're happy. Everyone will feel that energy when you feel good. If you're wearing shoes and they're uncomfortable, guess what energy you're going to be putting out there as you're attempting to fake it. You cannot fake it until you make it. That's BS.
Oh,
Uh, you can practice feeling good. You can acknowledge that this feels uncomfortable, but every time I do it, it feels better and better. You can say something like that.
yeah.
But if you're feeling crappy about something, you're bringing that energy into it.
Yeah.
So some people would say this is a bit of a woo woo conversation, but it isn't because you all
Life is
felt
woo
it.
woo. Have y'all looked up the patents that the government has that they've acknowledged and put patents on? None of this is woo woo. That's the craziest thing I think beyond
Yeah.
all. And then we should end it for today because we're almost at 32 minutes. But all of these things that we say, oh, they're woo woo, they're actually not. There's
Yeah.
literal scientific paperwork
Scientific
about
fact,
all
right.
of it. The government has patents on remote viewing. People sit in a warehouse in the dark and they can tell you the exact map of an
Yeah.
underground whatever. This isn't woo woo. That's the crazy part. But anyway, I digress. What a
Okay.
great episode this
So
was. I feel like I got tremendous value at it. So hopefully all of you did as well. Please comment your thoughts, share, like, subscribe, invite your people to follow Moksha Grace. If you need to find us, go to mokshagracecoaching.com, comment on this video. We'll then find you. You can also find Michelle at mokshagrace.com.
yep.
If you want to book a call, get yourself started on some mindfulness and accountability and coaching and get your shit right, go to
Get on the right path.
mokshagrace.com/coaching. Otherwise, you will see us here every single week. Also, don't be afraid to join the Moksha Grace email list, mokshagrace.com
Yes.
email. Um, you know, Michelle's starting to do some Substack articles and send stuff out. So join that email list to learn more, be up to date on what's going on.
mokshagrace.substack.com, I think.
I do have that here too. Look at that.
How
Bang.
fun is that?
Yep.
So, little homework, simple, easy. When you're listening to the radio, if you're listening to music, maybe you're in the car, if that song is like annoying you, you get the little feeling on your skin like, oh, yet it's a nice song, change it. Sometimes I'll listen to music and others will go, oh my God, that sounds so like rough and hard rock and just what the heck? Yet there's a frequency to it, not you,
No one has ever said that about hard rock. It's that depressing stuff you listen to.
but there's a frequency to it that there's something about it that there's certain songs that just put me in a good mood, even though they might be talking about something, off the wall. But anyway, we all have choices. The point is that we also have all of the answers within ourselves. And so when we tune into that, we can make better choices. So when you wake up, you can choose this is going to be a good day no matter what. This is going to be a bad day no matter what. You get to decide, you get to choose that for yourself. So choose wisely. And we'll see you next week.